Let me see. I'm super tiny on the corner over here. So let me just make this bigger for a moment. Here we go. Hello. Okay. Hi everybody, and welcome back to What's Happening. My name is Z Garcia. Let's do that again. Hi everybody, welcome back to What's Happening. My name is Z Garcia. Last time I checked, and I gotta make sure that you can see me, you can hear me. Okay. Okay, good. You can see me, you can hear me. The jet lag is a little rough, a little rough. I just came back from a trip, and it would be 9 p.m. there right now, so I'm a little bit tired, but I'm all right. I also just got off an important phone call for we're working on setting up our new studio, folks, and it's gonna be very exciting stuff. So yes, 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 yes. Okay, so we're going to be jumping into a little K2 here, digital edition. I have not played this yet. It is on Steam. So I hooked up another screen. I'll be playing on that screen over there. You'll see me looking that way a lot. So it's going to be a little bit funky, a little bit tricky, but we're going to have some fun together, okay? Let me make myself smaller once again. Very tiny over here in the corner, and we are off to the races. Let's make it happen. Okay, I'm going to kick up the volume. Let me know if it's good, if it's loud, if it's too bad. As you can see, I can mess here with everything I need to mess with. And obviously, if where my face is on the screen starts to be annoying during the gameplay, I will move that around. I can even get rid of it. It doesn't matter. If anybody asks in the comments, I'm playing K2 Digital Edition. I don't know how long that'll be there. So here we go. I'm going to try to put my, let me move this all over to the side so I can make sure I can see my comments. All right, make the comments a little bit larger right here. Good. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let's make it happen. Play the tutorial, please. Loading. Nice. Nice. Mm-hmm. I guess I could play here. I'm just watching what you guys are watching over here. Okay, you're the leader of an expedition to K2. You try to guide your two climbers. I can't read or speak today. I got that vassalism. I will lead your team and keep them alive. That's amazing. Here we go. Okay, no, I got to do it over here. The writing's too small for my eyes. Get as many suns, which are points, as you can by the 18th day. Okay, okay. Staying alive is more important than reaching the summit. So you say. First day of the 18-day expedition, we have to move forward. The climbers can be moved using cards with steps. Select 3 movement cards. Got it. Certain locations are challenging and take longer to reach. To move, you need to pay from 1 to 3 per space. Got it. All right, so I'm going to do, for example, this one, that one, and that one, let's say. Confirm that. It's beneath my face. So I'm going to move myself to, let's say, like, oh, it says K2 under there. Let me turn that off. Okay. I'll go to right there. How about that? Okay, there we go. So now the movement. We can get to the top, waiting for orders. Choose a space to move your climber to. I want to move to there for 1. I'm going to move to there for another 1. Oh, and I guess one guy's called Mike and the other one's called Monique. Okay. And then I'll move the same guy again to this one. Why not? Okay, that's gonna do it. And then I'll end the day there. It's important to pay attention to our health. Each climber has health points represented by that little symbol. Okay. The maximum health points value is 6. Using oxygen, use oxygen resources wisely. We have a very limited number. You can use cards that feature that little symbol there to add health to the climbers. Choose at least one health card. Got it. Okay. Fine. So, for example, I could do this one and then maybe a 2 and maybe a 1. Now, I'll confirm that. So, during the climbing phase, before the summit push, we must increase our acclimatization. Blech. You have to be acclimated. It's not a great word to say with a human mouth. Um, John Shepard says, how old is the original board game of this? I played a climbing game years ago. Yeah, it's got some years on it for sure. This is an older game. I don't know when it came out because I'm not feeling brave enough to open another window right now and look it up on BGG or somewhere. But if somebody wants to look it up, it's from 10 years ago, more than that. It's got some years on it for sure. So end this round with climber on dot space to get extra health points. Assuming they mean these points. Okay. All right, so this person is going to move there for 1. BGG says 2010. The game came out in 2010, so it's, good night, 15 years old already. Whew. How about that? Okay, so getting here is just one step. So if I select this guy, I can go here for 2, boom, boom. And then I could select this and give it to Mike, for example, get him to 3. So she's going to go up by 1 because of where she is. So she's going to be acclimated up to a 3, and he'll be acclimated up to a 4. I'll end the day there, and they both went up. Okay, so special movement cards. So you've seen pretty basic stuff. Like this one right here is to move 2 steps, 3 steps, be acclimated by 2, acclimated by 1. But then the special ones have a different value for climbing the mountain or for coming down the mountain. I should also show you, if we kind of like look a little bit ahead here, you'll see that these spaces near the foot of the mountain get you acclimated. They have that symbol there, and they cost sometimes a couple steps. But then you start getting a little higher, and you cannot get acclimated anymore except by cards. And you'll also see that they get a little bit tougher to climb. So up here, 2 steps, 2 steps, 3 steps over here, 3, 3, all the way up to the summit. There we go. Yeah, I feel like I played this game back at around that time too, John, in 2010. And I think my cover had, it was like when it first came out, just from the, who published it originally. It was like a small kind of print run originally. Then it got picked up. Then it got put in a square box. It's kind of had an interesting publication history. Now, question for you guys: can you still not hear anything from the game? Because you should, I feel like. Um, I don't know why you wouldn't be hearing anything. Thank you for my welcome. Appreciate that. Nope, nothing from the game. Okay. Let's see. Test. System audio is muted right now. Okay, let me try this. Okay, it looks like you should be hearing the game now. If it's too low, let me know. And I'll mess with it, okay? Because I can't really hear it myself. Let's keep going. Jump back over here. Okay, so it explains again, like I told you already, of one certain value up, a certain value down. I got that. No problem. We're going to climb a little bit. We're going to pick the 2, this one, and this one. Confirm that. And then we're going to climb a little bit. Before the summit push, we have to increase our acclimatization. Some aspects subtract health. Got it. So, I'm going to pick her. I'm going to move her 1, 2. Then I'm going to pick this guy. I'm going to move him 1. And then I'm going to give... Nope. I'll do that. I'm going to pick her and give her this. There we go. Okay, cool. Coming down here. All right, you can hear now. Is that good enough? Is it too loud, too low? Happy to make some changes as needed. 2910. That's the future, John. You're crazy. It's the future. Anyway, 2010 is what he means. Obviously, when I started to play more hobby board games, and I dropped out of the meta, but found a new group, and that was when I that was when I started to go to the UK Games Expo regularly. I know what you meant, John. I'm just kidding. Cool. Yeah. Fantastic. No background music, but the card actions are the perfect volume. Okay, when I jump out of this tutorial, I'll bring the background music up a little touch, because it's on right now, but it's very faint. Okay? I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you for letting me know. Why can't? Got it. Why is my arrow not changing back to the cool arrow? I don't know. There you go. Cool arrow. Okay, so weather. Look at the weather forecast. It's about to break. It's about to break. It's about to break. Break like a fever. Certain areas may be affected by the weather. Climbers in those areas lose more health points than usual. Hover over the weather panel to view the forecast. All right, so this is the weather forecast right here. And it lets me know that anybody at that specific elevation is going to take a hit. A hit of 1 at that elevation. Meaning, let me zoom out here. Da-da-da. So like this one is between, I don't know what height that is, but between those two areas. Then on Thursday, the mountain's clear. On Friday, it's pretty nasty. Whoever's in that area of the mountain is going to take 2 hits. On Saturday, it's just the summit. You take 2 hits on the summit. And then on Sunday, the top 2 areas. And in the game, there's 18 days, but you only get to see a few ahead, like in the real world. How do I know what day it is right now in the game? I guess I don't know. Nothing I need there. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Now this card right here, by the way, is... Oh, wait. Let me come over here. Boop. Okay. This card right here, you see it has a 0 for becoming acclimated. That's nothing. It's a dead card. It's a card that everybody has in their 18 cards or whatever, and at some point you have to play it. You know, you're gonna end up playing that card somewhere, because every round you have 6 cards. You play 3, draw 3, and so on. It junks up your hand a little bit. All right, so how are my people doing? Their max is 6. They're both at 5. I want to avoid being in that weather so I can climb him up a couple of steps. And I think Monique is going to try to make it to there, maybe. So let's go with 1, 2, maybe to there for 3. No, she wants that point. Let's go with that one, and that one. All right, I'm gonna move Monique 2 to there, and then I'm gonna move this guy to there, and her to there. No, it didn't want that. Dang it. 1, 2, 1, 2. So confused. That should be it. Why? Let me undo that. He was gonna go 1, 2 for him. And she was gonna go from here to here, 1, 2. Right? There we go. End the day. Okay, so victory points. Climbers get victory points visible on the highest visited place. Even if a climber goes back, you keep the points, and if the climber dies, you lose, which they misspelled, but it's okay. You lose all the points. Go as high as possible and stay alive. That's the objective. Get high, don't die. Don't ever quote me, please, on that. Certainly not out of context, okay? Boom. Okay, that was Wednesday. That was bad on Wednesday. Now it's Thursday. So I have Thursday and Friday to clear that chunk in the middle and get above this nasty weather. Can I do it? Yes, I can. Can I do it? Yes, I can. I'm going to do it with that, and with that. We're going to be pushing this round. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 4. Okay. Moving a climber there and back is not the same as moving an undo. You still use movement points. If you do not intend, please undo instead. Okay. That is true. That does matter. Okay, so instead then I'll get Mike here and he's going to go to there. Why is he doing that? I'm confused. Is it because I'm... Can I zoom in on this sucker? Why can't I zoom in? I want to zoom in. How do I zoom in? How do I zoom without you? All right, get out of the way, dude. I can't see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So he's gonna go there. And then he's gonna go there. Let's do that. And then for Monique, she's gonna do that. Let's try it and see what happens. That's everybody's movement used. I'm gonna end the day. It's still good. Now comes Friday. I gotta get out of that zone. What? Oh, I severely mismanaged that. My bad. These were the last 3 cards in my deck. So I'm not drawing this round, which means these are the only 3 I'm playing. I'm going to end my phase. I'm going to now assign these cards to these people. Like, no, let me undo that. Sorry, Monique. No, Mike gets that one. And Monique gets that one. And that one, because who cares? End the day. They're all okay. They took the storm, but I had those cards left. Okay. That's called playing badly. Over here, I need to be looking at this, which is where my cards are. All right. Let me go over here. Settings. Language, blah, blah. Pin the cards, labels, campaign, camera. I don't know what that is. Map scroll inverted. Yeah, please. It's driving me nuts. And then the music quality, will kick it up a little bit, or volume, sorry. Back, resume. All right, so let's try to get these people out. Right now, it's the summit. It's not great. My best option for pushing the summit is going to be this Monday, this Tuesday, even Wednesday. I can kind of stay up there, but I'm going to need to give them these oxygen cards. So right now, let's get this out of my hand. To climb up to there, it's just 1, so I can get there with that. And then if I want to go just below, that's 2 more. Or I can push Mike up here for 3. Yeah, let's go with that. All right. So Mike gets that one. Monique gets that one and that one, and that's everything. I think. I'm going to end the day there. They take a little bit of a hit just from the area. I was going to say, I was about to ask, like, wait, hold on. I remember in the game you had tents. You could deploy these tents and survive in them, but I guess right here they're saying there are some rules that make the game more strategic. We didn't include them in this tutorial. Even without them, it's tough enough. Oh, I guess they're not good things. We'll explain them during the first regular game. Got it. All right, then let's keep climbing, shall we? Right now, I don't want to be anywhere near the top. I am struggling with the... Why am I... Can I pinch to zoom here? What's going on, yo? Ugh. Okay, so there's the tents. We'll talk about that later, I guess. What is the campaign camera? Okay, so it's just like way up on a mountain. No, I don't love that. In fact, I'm not loving the camera like at all in this game. It's kind of annoying me. So I'm not going to do the campaign camera thing. I don't love that. I don't know what the interface scale. It just means the UI, I'm guessing. Okay. But I, for some reason, can't seem to zoom back in again. Okay. It's weird because I can't see behind him very well. And that's just bad design. Come on, you know? It's... This, I don't need to... I need to be able to see what's going on behind the guy. I need to see the symbols. All right. Right now, I need to stay out of those 2 areas. I think he's not in that area. I think he's here. Okay. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the main menu. And I'm going to go to... No, not quit, like the whole game. Goofy thing. Ugh. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Da-da-da. There we go. There we go. New game. Standard conditions along the route. This is the original game. Okay, got it. Let's do that. Confirm that. I get to pick my team. These people look kind of rough. There's also very different artwork from the original game. This is not artwork from the original physical game. All right, this is a cool name. It starts with a Z, and the second person is gonna be Natalie. Zane, maybe? Zane and Natalie are gonna be my climbers. And my team is gonna be yellow. I'll confirm that. I will add AI, medium. They're gonna be purple. And that should do it. Let's start the game. All right, so weakness points is the thing they haven't taught me yet. Yeah, that's right. They haven't taught that or the tense. Interesting. All right, so weakness points represent some of the challenges of mountain climbing. After the planning phase, the player who has the most of the climbing symbols on their cards must choose weakness points. So basically, in the physical game, everybody picks 3 cards out of their 6. You put them face down, then we all reveal them, okay? And whoever's climbing the most that round is exhausting or, pushing themselves the most, takes a token that is a negative that must be assigned to something you're doing that round. Now, the tokens that you take as negatives and must assign to one of your cards, they're random from a pool of face down ones, but there's always 3 face up. And there are zeros, -1s, and -2s in there. So sometimes it works out that the penalty pool is really bad. It'll be like -2, -2, -2, even. And so nobody wants to be the one that pushes it that round. But sometimes it's pretty good, and you're like, okay, I don't care if I'm the one that, really strives ahead, and you go for a large total then, because you'll end up taking a small penalty, maybe no penalty at all. And so this is the pool right here, it looks like, the -1, -1, -2. I'm going to go ahead and do that one, and that one. I confirm that. I don't know what they picked because they're not showing me. Okay, so turn order. The planning phase is played simultaneously. All players select their cards at the same time. The climbing phase is in order. The first player is changed every turn. Previously first became the last one. That's weird writing, but okay. Got it. So John says here, if you're using a mouse, it says you can zoom by using the scroll wheel or pinching the screen if you're on a touch screen. I'm using a touch pad, which would be like a touch screen. It didn't seem to be letting me do stuff. I'll try again. Da-da-da. So I can definitely click and like drag around. That's not a problem. But as far as like zooming in and out, if I right click, will it do something? No. Okay, so 2 fingers on here. Okay, I got it. It was misbehaving. You can't say otherwise. Okay, it's my turn to do some things. Here we go. I got Zaim, and I got, what was her name? Natalie. Natalie's gonna go boom, boom, 1, 2. She's gonna be given also this acclimatization point. And then Zaim, I'll have him jump up here. And now again, because they're so low down at the bottom of the mountain, they're still getting those just printed on the board acclamation points. So she's getting another 1, and he's getting another 1 right here. There we go. Okay. Picking some new cards. These symbols are still the same as ever. We're going to try to make a little bit of a push here. So I'm going to go with the 2. Yeah, that's not much of a push. I'll do that. Okay, so it's me. Weakness points. How does it work? Each -1 takes away. Okay. Yep. So here's how this works. You see my cards up here in the top corner. I played the 0 there. A 2 and a 3. My total was 5. They played a 2 here, 0 there, and this is a 1 up, 2 down. You only count the up value. So they played a total of 3. I played a total of 5. I have to take one of these 3 bad tokens and assign it to some card I played this round. I'm going to take a -1, obviously, and I'll add it to whatever. And the pool changes, so they just drew a new tile. There are 4 zeros, 11 -1s, and 5 -2s, and sometimes it can be very easy and sometimes very punishing. All right, I'll put the -1 right there. Kind of just does that stuff for me, which is interesting, but I'm not sure if I don't know, I kind of like having a little more control. I wonder how I would feel if I had never played this game in person. I wonder if I'd be a little lost. Like, why is that -1 automatically there? Why can't I just give it to the 2? Does it matter? Is it just all going in the same bucket, and I'm using that bucket to move out, to give these people points? Does it matter that this is a 3? Does it have to go to the same person? That kind of stuff is messing with me a little bit. I guess it does all go into the same bucket because it took 2 from here and 1 from here. And now if I go to him, no, see, it does have to go to a specific card. All right, I'm done. If I go there, he takes a hit. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. So he's just going to go there, end that. Boom. All right, and then they move. We're next to the next climbing phase. Okay. Here we go. What do I want to do here? I got to get them acclimated and fairly quickly because I want to make a big push. I can kind of be behind the storm here a little bit. Yeah, that should be all right. This is up here. Then it gets really nasty, but it starts to move its way up after that. I'll do the 1, this 2, and this 1. And that phase. They're the ones taking the penalty point. Sweet. Then it's me. I'm going to try to move him up quite a bit. 3 there. And I'll also give him that. To him. And that day. Here we go. Okay. All right. What do we got now? So there's a 0 right here. So right now I don't care if I'm the one that takes the penalty. So I can throw some big numbers out there. I don't necessarily need big numbers right now. My people are very well acclimated. But, you know, still throw the 3 in there, the 2, maybe even the 1. Let's get some movement happening. Well, no, hold on. I don't want to climb that quickly. This is 1, 2, 3 for him. This is 1 for her. And then maybe some of that. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Boom, boom, boom. Then Natalie will go there for 1. Cannot go any higher. And I will give her that also. And the day she maxes out at 6, don't forget. Alright, so now it's Wednesday. And the weather has moved up a little bit. So the bad weather is going to be here above this point. So now I can climb into this part of the mountain, and I should be okay. There's still a 0 out here when it comes to the weakness points, so I'm going to make a big push here. It's not, actually I can't really. I don't have very many high values, but I'm still going to do the best I can. There we go. I'm going to climb. Natalie here is going to go 1, 2, 3. But then he can't move. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could do just 1, 2, and 1, 2. All right, I'll do that. There we go. Okay, so this is another important thing here. The number of climbers per space is limited. The higher up the mountain you go, the fewer people can share the same exact spot on the mountain, okay? And that's what this little symbol is for. So at the bottom here, there can be 2 per player. This is dependent on the player count. In this section here is 2 per space. Not per player, per space, okay? And then up here, the top half of the mountain, basically, a single character. So if I'm standing right here, nobody else can be in there. I don't even think you're allowed to. I think you may be able to go through it, but you can't stop there, I believe is what it is. Yeah. All right, so confirm the end of the day. Now comes Thursday. There's only bad weather at the very, very tippy top. I should be okay with that then, but I have to play my last 3 cards no matter what. I'll end that phase. I have to choose a weakness point. I'm actually going to take the -1 because I'm going to put it on this card, and I don't really care. So I'll have him go up there for 1. There's already a person there, isn't there? Yeah, I won't do that. I'm actually going to have Natalie go over here for 2, and then this card. I'll do that with. Okay, new day. It is Friday. It is clear weather all the way to the top. My characters, upon reaching this spot or this spot here, will get 3 victory points. And the way it works is they kind of have a running, like that's as well as you've done. So the idea being, the way you play this game is, if you make it to the summit, you see you'll get 10 points, but just me touching it and backing off is enough. So even in the same turn, I can go, boom, set 10 points and then back off again. And 10 is the best I do. I don't get 10 +7, +6. It's just as high as you've been. That's the number of points you get. If that person dies, they get nothing at all. So I can get 20 points by hitting the summit and then making sure they come back down enough to survive, or just, whatever, survive. But if somebody, if I can only get them up to here and then I'm like, nope, if I keep climbing, I might die, you back off, you still get 6 points for that. And the game is kind of like a really big push your luck game. Playing with people's lives. Jennifer, you're so late. You're super late. I was just kidding. Welcome. We ended up having to push the stream today because of a meeting we had. So I apologize for messing with your schedule. All right, what do we want to do here? I want to climb. I want to just go crazy and climb. Boom, boom, boom. Climb it. That one. This guy, he's gonna go up here. Foom, foom. Maybe even there. Womp. And that's everything. Yes, that's everything. And that day. He's gonna need a little juice. He's not doing so hot. Now, one thing you can do, and I guess they haven't really taught me that, but it's over here. You're allowed to pitch a tent somewhere on the map. For 2 steps, you can pitch a tent. And basically, while your character is in a tent, and it doesn't matter whose tent it is, as long as it belongs to you, I mean. Like, if Zane here pitches a tent right there, and then later Natalie ends her turn in that tent, then it gives you +1 acclamation points. So this space, for example, would take away 2, and the tent would give you 1, canceling one of those. I might have to do that at some point, and you kind of want to figure out where you do it. You want to kind of do it pretty close to the top of the mountain to give you a spot from which you can survive and still kind of run to the top and then run back. But it is definitely a big part of the game, is knowing where you pitch that tent. Each of them is carrying 1. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Jennifer, what's happening? Busy time right now. Gotcha. All right, well, I'll just see you on the next one. You can watch it later. Don't worry. Okay, folks, what am I doing? -1, -1, -2 are the weakness points. I don't love that. I definitely want him to breathe. And maybe pitch a tent where he is. And she maybe climb just 1 to there. How about that? Also, there's a storm where my guy is at. So that's cool. He might die, but I think I'm okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to end that turn. I'm choosing this one. No, don't do that. Why can't I just move that? I just want to move that there. All right, so he's going to go. And he's going to pitch this tent right there. And then he's going to do that and that. I want to end that day. Bad things are going to happen. And we go to the next day. So you'll see now that there's a pre-printed there 1. Helpful 1 in blue. And then the bad ones are the 2 and the 1 right now. But that's being modified by the weather. These are not great cards right now, so I'm just going to do that. Very bad turn. Okay. Ah, it's a waste. I am done. That's it. Yeah, I got nothing else to do, so that's okay. I end my turn like that. All right, clear day. I'm going to try to make a push for the summit. Where are their people? I'm seeing one there. Oh, and there's one way down here. Okay, okay. Fine. I want to do that. And I'm going to do... No, that's fine. That one. And that one. Let's see. I'm going to pick Zane. He's going to be breathing in that good stuff. And then I'm going to have him make a little bit of a push. No, he can't. Not with 3 movement. I keep being a little bit short, unfortunately. I'm going to move him there. But then I only have 1 movement, which is not enough. She can't get there, can't get there. I'm done. Okay, I'm skipping a card. And I am done. Now it's some awful weather. Two and 2 gets me there. That's going to be 2 there, 2 there. Wow. 1 there. I'll end my phase. I'll take the -1. I'm going to have Natalie go to the tent. Try to save her life a little bit. That was 4. No, I'm sorry. That was... How much was that? I have something left? Can he get there? Oh, I can't go in there. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Yep. All right, I'll end that turn. See how everybody's doing. They're all suffering for sure. Clear weather day at least. These are the last 3 cards, so I have to play them. Okay. Come on. That sucks. All right, well, I'm going to have her back down. What's going on with you? Back down. Why can't you go there? That's weird. No one's standing there. Oh, wow. Got it. That was strange. And then I'm going to have, unfortunately, I'm going to have him back down also. There. So he could be at the tent and try to survive a little bit. That's that. End the day. They're both technically alive. There is a storm only at the very, very tippy top. I'm going to go 2, 2, and help him survive. End my turn. Oh, that person, like, ran down the mountain. Did you guys see that? They're coming down. Well, I guess the strategy that they're employing here is take one all the way up and then take the other one all the way up. That's one way to do it, huh? I guess you don't have to try to keep both alive at the same time. That's interesting. I don't know if I've really done that very much, but I'm sure it's like the obvious thing to do, and I've just always missed it. Or so I can have him go way up there, have him take that, and end the day Like so. So tough. Okay, there's a storm on quite a bit of the mountain right now. I'm gonna go 3, 1, and 2, and that. She has to be given some of this oxygen or she'll die. So I'll pick that and I'll give her 2. She'll be okay. I'll pick him and I'll give him 1. And then I'm going to move him 3 to there. And he'll barely survive that. And that day, I unlocked the death zone, which is very morbid. In mountaineering, an area above 8,000 meters is called the death zone. That's a real photo. Wow. Because of the low pressure of oxygen, humans cannot survive there for a long time. Climbers always plan to stay there for as little as possible. It's why climbers don't use extra oxygen usually. It's why climbers who don't use extra oxygen usually only stay at the top or on the top for a few minutes, which is pretty wild to me, actually, that people who summit K2 and Everest and things like that are really just up there for such a small amount of time. Take a picture or two, right? I mean, I don't know, celebrate for a couple minutes, and then it's like, okay, we have to get off this mountain now. It's insane. It's amazing. All right. Thank you, Anthony, for the super chat. Appreciate that very much. Okay. The dead zone. Okay, so I got a few days of clear weather here. Try to just have everybody survive. If I can push up to the top here and then immediately come back down with him, that'll be nice. I will also... Ugh. That's what, 2, and he's got 1. He will die from that. Yes, he will die from that. I cannot do that. He can go 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then he still dies right there. He needs 1 more oxygen. He has no tent. Or does she have... Wait. One of them has a tent and the other one doesn't. I know that much. What happens if I pitch a tent at the top? Can I do that? Let's find out. I think he dies if I mess around here. Right, like if I go up to the top. He has no tent. I would come back down. I would give him this. He dies anyway, yes. Okay, so let's back that off. He might just not make it. He's going to come back down. I'll give him the oxygen. He'll survive there. Yeah, maybe the whole pushing both at the same time is a bad idea. I'll take her down to there. Let's see what that does. See, right here now, the symbols are all terrible. I really am having a hard time, though, telling which one of them deployed a tent and which one didn't. Is there a single tent per person? I thought that's what it was. The tent, each one of them was carrying one. I got that. Okay, here we go. One of them deployed it and the other one didn't. So I guess he did, but she didn't. Okay. Okay. Should probably just left her there. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. But 5 is probably going to get me one of these. No, that's dumb. Hold on. Did I just kill him? I think I just killed him by not paying attention. Yep, sure did. No. So stupid. Okay, he survives there at the tent. And then she can go there, but she dies there, actually, so... Oh my gosh. This game is so difficult. End the day. There. There we go. Alright. Let's see. Chuck O'Connor here is saying, I sold K2 after one playthrough. It was a snooze fest. And then Anthony, you're asking if it was too procedural. I used to own K2. I don't own it anymore, I'm pretty sure. And I liked it actually a lot. I did cool on it for sure. But I really liked it originally because it had the same feeling in some ways as Pandemic, I thought. Just not cooperative. But it had that same kind of emotional roller coaster of how much can I push my luck, how close can I get to the edge and still be in control, and how, you know, what can I do, how close can I get. I like that feeling in it. I agree that the game feels a little, I don't even know if I'd call it small. It's sort of or simplistic, maybe. Either one of those words you can maybe use to describe it, but it feels a little, by today's standards, certainly, just diminutive. You know, it's a little small. It's a little slight, maybe is the good word for that. The sound is going in and out. That seems weird. Shouldn't do that. All right, here we go. So I'm down to the last 2 rounds here. The game's almost over. I don't think that I'll be able to get to the top any higher with her, unfortunately. I'll just do that. End that phase there. And then I'm going to have her move to here and pitch her tent there. And then get that, whatever. Done. Okay, cool. I unlocked the thing. And then the last day is these. And that day, I'll take a negative. And unfortunately, this would be 1-2, which is not enough to get a new score, I think. And then back down. He's okay. It's a wash, so he'll survive. And she has 1 point, so 1, 2. And then back down. I got it. Doesn't really get her anything new. And for him, he already has the 6. And I got the 7. Yeah, so that's going to be it. I'm going to end that, and then I'll see how I did here with these people. All right, so I got 12 points. Okay, so she did. All right, so my guy, the Zayn there, he got 7 points. I got very close to the summit, which would have been 10. And she got 5 points. The other guys got 10 between them. I think the AI basically ran one person up to the summit, summited, and then ran them back down the mountain, and the other one was just kind of hanging out at base camp, barely above base camp. I don't know if that's a standard strategy in this game. Certainly keeping 2 of them alive at the same time can be tricky. I've always kind of liked, there's a couple of ways to go about it. You can do that, like summit one, bring him back down, then work on the other one and try to get as, high up as you can. Or they work in tandem. One of them is a little bit ahead. They drop their tents. The other one can kind of do a little resting there. The game is, simplistic. Again, it kind of has very few moving parts, but there's enough little things that when you add in these flavors, it makes for some interesting tactical stuff. The penalty points is interesting. It certainly makes you wonder, how much to push your luck, and it's a simultaneous reveal thing. The tent idea is very cool. And then the weather is kind of the unsung hero here of the game, because every game, if not for the weather, the game is the exact same every time. But you get to see the next few days of weather, right? Let me think what it is. It's 18 days, and you get to see like the next 6, I want to say, or something like that. And so there's this interesting, like, okay, well, tomorrow sucks. I need to maybe come down just one to miss a storm, and then have 2 days of clear weather to make a big push. And then after that, I better get off the top of the mountain. So it has this cool, like, where do I rest? And the math is very small and very tight. I think that's why it feels a bit like a snooze fest. It's not necessarily a bad way to describe it, It's just that I enjoy that feeling of, gosh, I barely have any room to breathe, no pun intended, And the math is very, very slight. All right, everybody. Well, there you go. Got to play a little bit of the demo, played a whole game on K2. But the interesting thing here is that in this game, you've got the expansions as well. So this is the normal game that came in the original box of K2. There was a sequel to this game, which I disliked a little bit, actually, but that was Mount Everest. And then they have K2 on the other side, had a more difficult side. Mount Everest, same deal. But then they had 2 expansions for the game. Broad Peak, kind of had you climbing like along, like from one side to the other, I want to say. And then Lhotse right over here. That's the easiest map. It says it's good for training. So there's a lot of different ways, and again, the backs of those things. There's a lot of different ways to play the game. You can also then throw in winter weather that makes everything a little bit difficult, a little more difficult, that was in the base game, The weather tiles are double-sided. It seems like a cool implementation. I just feel like, maybe it's just me, but I feel like me knowing the original game is helping out this digital implementation a little bit, I wonder how this would go if I gave it to someone who's never heard of this board game, never played the board game, and I'm like, here's a strategic mountain climbing game. Tell me if you understand it. Tell me how it feels. Tell me how it goes, As it is, very interesting, and I'm certainly having had a good time with it. So there we go, everybody. That's gonna do it for today. I did have a successful, climbing job there, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. But for now, I'm gonna get out of here. I got a few other things I need to do. I do want to, before I skedaddle, mention that you should check out our Discord so you can chat it up with us, and you can talk about anything you want to in there, of course. But there's going to be dedicated channels to a few different things. You can new people who want to just discuss games. You can jump in there and find your location. You want to talk about Dice Tower East, and we have Dice Tower East discussion. I'm sure that's, I assume, heating up because that's happening soon. DicetowerEast.com. Check it out. And then also one specific one in our Discord, specific room for Patreon members. If you want to support us and you want to have access to a couple of little extra videos, we do have access to the Patreon Discord and have some neat discussion going on in there, then you can subscribe to that as well. The point being, there's a lot for you to explore and check out. If you don't want to do any of that stuff, that's fine too. Watch the channel, engage with us, interact with us. We are going to love you just the same. So thank you very much, everybody. Time for me to go. I'll see you on the next one. My name is Z Garcia. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.